Commission meeting for September 10th, 2025 at 7:05 p.m. Now roll call starting with Mike, please.
Mike Bartlett, present.
James DeRoyan, present.
James Gates, present.
Kevin Smith, present.
Pat Gilmore, present.
Kevin Manley, yes, and the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording? Chairman's additions and or deletions. There's correspondence from DEP water quality certificate for 88 Meadow Road, and then a BRF submittal, and then a planning board referral notice, and then deletions 5.1 we are deleting. I'm sorry, the BRF for discussion for the next meeting.
5.1.
We're deleting, yes.
Void for now.
Yes. Yeah, the DEP water quality certificate on here.
Is that the 401?
Yeah.
Sign-in sheet.
This
Yeah,
is the
I figured I'd ask. I
This
can't
is
either
the
cook
meeting
meeting on
on
something you're not off.
July 9th, just to approve it.
Not
Yeah.
every-
No, I said at the town.
Oh.
Sign-in sheet.
So we're also gonna add 6.3 North County Land Trust. CRR properties. Chair report. Anything I have would be covered under the agent's report. What we do not have our agent think because he's sick. Uh, 1.6, okay, so actually we're gonna remove 1.72 for tonight. 1.6, review and approve meeting minutes from July 9th.
Yeah.
Everyone had a chance to got it. When everyone's done, just let me know.
Please do the, yeah.
By the memory, maybe I could see it already. things that I disagree with, but sounds good to me. Wonder if anyone went to class yesterday, that Michelle Zelenka's thing?
Yeah,
Well, it was yesterday, it was the original one was postponed, did you go to it?
no.
Oh. I signed up for it, but then I realized that I had a conflict, so I couldn't.
So there's the way
So-
it goes.
Someone can make a motion to approve minutes and
I motion to approve the minutes July 9th, 2025.
Second.
I'm all set.
roll call vote, starting with Mike.
Mike Potts said yes.
Jim Doreen, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Jim Lyons.
Mm. All right.
71, 2.1, 71 Fitchburg Road, continuance of notice of intent, DEP file number 308-0722, TWB 2025-005, hearing, approximately 7:15, applicants Jared Whitcraft, Chris McKenzie is here with Dillis and Roy to, represent them. Unfortunately, we can't pull it up on the screen.
I was just gonna say, I'm getting so used to technology these days that I didn't bring a print with me, so I am not prepared with a print myself. You don't have one in the file there that we can, I can manage without it.
With
An older one.
With another one with the revisions submitted, or is that?
Yes, there was a revised one. I can handle using an old one if that's all you have. I can certainly, talk around that. Is Jared,
I think this is the updated one, because it says received September 9th,
yes, so that,
September 8th.
perfect. Yeah, that would be the new one.
Everyone passed that up.
You want me to put it up on the board there?
I know.
You guys are all right with it here? You can certainly work with it here.
I looked at it briefly on email with Pat and Mike.
Right, so has everybody been out to the site and walked around at all?
I've driven by,
Driven
I
by?
can see the wetness.
Yeah,
Mike and I went out, I went twice. What are we looking at? What's your point?
well, I met with the owner out there and started talking with him and trying to get a better feel for what's going on out there. I don't know if you noticed the existing garage,
Yes,
is pretty much falling down. The foundation underneath it is just stone and it's all just kind of crumbling and stuff.
That's where he
He's
has
actually-
the steel beam sticking out of it.
Right,
He's
he's
trying to
actually
save it.
provided some support
To
underneath
save
there,
it,
cause
yeah.
the roof of the whole thing is all pretty good, it's the walls and the foundation underneath. So he's looking at the cost of that and considering if it's worth trying to save all that and put a new foundation in underneath and build new walls up to the roof and then refinish the whole inside, so basically completely gutting the thing except for the roof. And then replacing everything underneath. Versus tearing the whole thing down and rebuilding something new. And so what we show on this plan, we kind of expanded the view a little bit. We show the existing garage here, which is located, I forget what the distance is, but it's within the 35-foot buffer. I think it's about 28 feet or something like that
It's close.
from the corner, right?
Now, is he increasing size on the footprint or is he existing?
No. Well, that's
Okay,
just
that's
it.
all.
No, the
No.
intention there would be to keep it the same
Mhm.
size, right?
Stay in the footprint.
However, he's a little concerned about the cost of that and what it would cost to just build new. I said, well, if you're gonna build new, don't do it in the same spot. There's room where he can meet zoning requirements and move the thing out of the 35-foot buffer zone there. It'd be about 36 feet or 37 feet with a 26 by 26 addition in that location.
So he's removing that off the backside, coming around the corner.
Right.
Sounds like he's contemplating.
Right, well, I
Sounds like
think
he
it's
needs to make an
really a
amendment.
cost thing for him. my feeling is it's a cost thing for him. He's trying to measure out. And so I think what we wanna do is get some feel from you guys. Would you entertain that? The trade-off of it, the addition would be a little larger. I don't know if it'd be significant larger, I forget the actual square footage.
But it's not going off the footprint, the
He
original
would,
size.
he would go off the footprint. The thing is, he can meet the zoning requirements. If,
Because he's out of the 35-foot no disturb.
Well, that'd be what the.
well, not
Well,
only
he
that,
can
he can meet the zoning on
So
that.
you can meet the zoning requirements and be outside the.
Right,
35.
right now, the existing
Gives him
garage is
the
only
ability to go
14
bigger.
feet from the property line, the requirement's 15 feet. The house, I forget what the dimension is, but the house meets the requirement, so he could go all the way up to the house and still meet the requirement. But he would just bring this forward enough, this back corner basically forward enough, lining up with the back of the house there, and have a 26 by 26 addition there, and then completely remove all of this, it's in the.
Is it addition or garage again?
I think it would be kind of a combination. I don't know, again, there's a price, there's a cost factor involved here. You know, it's a tiny little piece of property. You can only put so much money into it before you're overspending on it, you know? They
No, I'm just
can't
wondering, does
increase the
does
bedroom.
that mean it's got another bedroom going
No,
on?
they cannot increase the
There's a sep-
bedrooms. They cannot,
I just
because
wanted
of the
to make
septic system.
That's
So that's
why-
not an option.
that question, it was
Right.
being asked.
Right.
So we're looking at a garage.
Yes, for the most part, maybe there's maybe some kind of space above it, I don't know.
Beautiful.
But that's why I was hoping he was here, because if you ask us specifics about what he's gonna do there, I don't know those.
Well,
I'm more concerned about the footprint and how all that lays out. I've shown, as part of the revisions to the plan, of course, I added a proposed erosion control barrier all around the disturbed area and call for that area to be loamed and seeded to bring it back to a good condition. I went out there and saw it, and it's, you know, it's in rough shape. You're not gonna get grass to grow on what's there. I didn't feel like it
Alright,
was.
so my,
Well, I wonder, I guess my thoughts are if he was, if he, you know, he thought that in the near future, that he was gonna put, that building in there and do it within the next couple of years.
well, yeah, how many, so he can extend it how many times? So you-
Well, yeah,
the initial three and then how many, however many extensions?
Yeah, so
It'd be
he,
wiser to do it all now.
yeah,
Right,
and then try to comply with zoning.
right, well,
Then he can comply with zoning and also comply with the 35-foot. He can also comply with the 35-foot offset.
mhm.
I
right,
think
we
it'd be
will meet the
foolish of us to-
35-foot, we meet the side yard required, and we'd still meet the front yard,
Yeah.
so. I think he's not gonna have any trouble with the building department there, because he meets all the zoning requirements.
Right,
I
So-
think it'd be prudent of us to try to,
So it does create a, you know, a bit more of a buffer, it's probably about, maybe not quite 10 feet, maybe 8 feet further away.
Well,
But
it's
but it's
getting-
outside that 35-foot.
but it's getting it to comply with the
Right.
rules and regulations, and that's why it's
Right.
probably, and two ways, because it's getting them to comply with the regulations for the conservation, as well as the setback for zoning.
Right.
Yeah,
And part of the reason why we wanted to kind of start to include this in the whole part of the submittal is that, this is probably gonna have to happen before we can put the system in, because he needs the staging area. And once the system goes in, he's not gonna be able to use that area
Oh, that's
for
right,
any
'cause
kind
he
of
loses-
construction stuff.
he loses any
Right.
type of, so
Right.
can we move on to another question? I don't know if I should intercede into it now. When you say reseeding in the backyard area, are you referring to his property or the neighbors?
No, and most of that is on the neighbor's property.
So the seeding and replanting as such, you have a schedule for that for the neighbor?
well,
And he's
so
aware of
it's-
it.
So the neighbor's
Had
been
to be said.
verbally discussed with the neighbor.
Mhm.
He,
Okay,
as Jared has stated before, the neighbor gave him permission to use the land.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gave him permission to
Cut the trees.
do everything that he did, but, he gave his okay
He
to,
claims that the neighbor gave permission.
and verbally, he claims that he went over and talked to him and he said, yeah, fine, do whatever you want.
But does the neighbor know that there was
we produced a letter and sent it to him and asked to have him look at that and sign it, gave a spot for him to sign it. We haven't I haven't got it back from him yet.
I just don't want to get onto a slippery slope about this on this plan. And we are deeming him to do it separately or on this plan.
Right.
Without his knowing, without his knowledge, without any return.
Well, so
I'm concerned about how the verbiage, how that stands with the neighbor and reconstituting it and getting it clear. That's all, making sure, like you were saying, Chris, it was signed, sent back in perspective, so he knows it's gonna be seeded. So, you know, cause that was,
but so the part of that is they cleared within the 35 feet and they cleared it to just bare ground. And then now they're gonna turn it into lawn, and that's not really in the,
So wouldn't the neighbor have to get involved in
Well,
this
I would-
since it was in violation?
I had a
yes,
very,
yes and no, so the violator, who is Jared Whitcraft, is the person that's responsible for restoring it.
I had a brief conversation with Larry, that would be the neighbor. And, Larry was concerned, however, he wanted to, try to be as amicable as he could be. Now, this was some time ago, I don't know if anything has transpired in probably the 3 or 4 weeks since I've talked to him. I haven't seen him since to sit down and talk to him, but Larry's a heck of a nice fella. And I think that he probably wants to see it restored back, probably with some trees. Or buffer, or vegetated, you know, revegetated to some extent. That would be my take on it. But,
I just wanna make sure we touch all the base before we put a blessing on the plan. That's inclusive to another piece of property without that person getting back to us, being notified of and on the same page with us.
Is this true that the property owner is not the one that lives in the adjacent house? It's actually farther away, but he owns a lot of property.
He owns a very big piece of property.
It's a big piece of property
30
that goes,
40 acres
that
or
goes
something.
between the neighbor's house and this house.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just a frontage piece. Maybe it's 100 feet or something like that with the frontage. I'm not sure. Off the top of my
Oh,
head.
so he goes right out to the road? He has a little dog leg of road frontage, 100 feet?
Whatever.
And there's no use of it. He's not using
Okay.
it.
Just
Right now.
gives me a
But it's
better
his land.
perspective, that's
It's
all.
It's
still his
land,
land,
it's
you know.
frontage, so.
No,
Well, it's his land, you know.
Right.
like Kevin said, it's still in his possession, and
Right.
we are doing something to this plan with our blessing, signing it off to do that. What if he said, I didn't
Well,
say.
Right, I was hoping to have some written thing. I know, you know, typically you guys would probably keep this two things separate.
Well,
But
and
from my
that,
perspective,
we've talked about that
Kinda
too,
needs
do we
reading
just
whole.
have a restoration plan under an enforcement?
Right.
That might be the way to handle it, you know, so that this process can move forward.
Well, so
With the
there's
septic
part of
repair.
that is, now, you know, I know you updated the plan, but the project narrative, did you resubmit that to DEP?
No.
So you know.
Right.
You know,
Well, again, I think at this point, I feel like we're more in the discussion stage, on this. I certainly would like,
You know, if you get the building further away from the wetlands, that's a plus, you're
Yes.
meeting zoning
Well, you get it out,
requirements.
you
You
get it
know,
out.
there's
Right.
nothing but net gain on
Yeah,
it.
that's a.
right,
that
right,
part-
that's
that
what
part of
I,
it is-
that's
that
what I
part of
talked
it-
to Jared about.
Yeah.
If the cost
Yeah.
is even Steven either way, then go with the all new, because
that part of it
does
is,
a lot of better.
But now's the time to permit it,
Right,
because DEP doesn't like it when you come back for 5 changes or.
right,
this
well,
or
that's
that.
what he told me, he told me, well, I'm gonna be working on this, do you think I'm gonna have to go back and file again? I said, yeah. And he said, well,
Yeah, yep,
he said, well, I think I wanna do that before I do the system. And I said, well, then you're really gonna, we're kinda really gonna do this all at once.
yeah, cause like you said, he's gonna lose his accessibility to the back area.
Right, right.
To take
You know.
care of the neighbor, and the neighbor is very important in this, because clearly, an accident happened, and
I mean-
in my opinion, this, we should move.
Well, we can't, because they have to Chris has to resubmit the narrative
Correct,
to DEP, so we'll continue this,
yeah,
but I think you.
and in the
Pat hasn't said
meantime,
much, Pat, I don't know what your
Well,
thoughts are.
Some time ago, probably last year, I know they had talked about either tearing it down or make an extra living space at that time. They didn't mention anything about a garage or anything like that. They wanted to expand it from where it is in the house, the dining room, living room combination and have it all connect, open that all up. And that's last I heard of it.
Well, it was
So,
More
frequent
cookies.
to him, it was funny.
I haven't been inside, so I don't know all the details,
Well,
but I
Chris,
do believe
didn't
a
you
portion.
just say that you can't put in a house, another bedroom per se, due to the septic
Well,
restraint?
we gotta
For
reel
another
this in though.
Well,
Doesn't
the
necessarily have to
bedroom
be a
thing is a
bedroom.
non-factor to me because
Non-negotiable,
the-
isn't it?
the system is a
No,
two-bedroom
no, is it
system.
a garage?
That's what it's
or-
it
assessed
can only
for,
be,
that's
it
all
can
you
only
can
be
have.
2 bedrooms.
You can only ever be a
Yeah,
two-bedroom.
there's not
There's
enough
no,
space
no
in
getting
there.
around
Gotcha.
So can you explain why this has to be built first? You said you're gonna lose the staging area?
that. Well, this is the existing driveway. This is the lot. It's only that wide. So
Right.
this whole area right now is very accessible off of the road.
Right.
If they build this system, they can't use that area anymore. So any construction that they're doing work is all gonna be limited in
So you
Or,
can't travel over
or
those
restoration,
systems.
or restoration
Right.
to the neighbor's
Travel.
property.
Right, even restoration of
You know.
neighbor's property is difficult because
You
this
know.
is all wooded up here. So the only real access to get back there is
The
either this
backside.
way or around this way. And this is very tight back here to get any kind of equipment back there. So they come this way.
Continue.
Once the system's in, you're gonna cut off your access
In the
there
meantime,
without doing more
Larry.
tree removal
Well,
and
it's safe
excavation.
to everyone, so we all hear
Yeah, the whole front of his house, he's gonna lose that
Yeah,
front
they're gonna-
driveway.
Oh, yeah.
He's
All of
only
it.
gonna see like a Dutch door, half of it,
Yeah.
you
it.
know?
Well, I wanna make sure Pat's question was answered though, or statement was finished.
well, so then my question is, can he make it an extra living space? Not saying a bedroom at all, but can they
Like
add
another
on, to the existing?
Right, so, I was about to say, is I have not been inside the building, but I do believe a portion of that part that's shown as existing garage, I believe a portion of that is living space, maybe
Mhm.
about a third or a quarter of it. Down there is living space.
In that garage with the
Yeah.
beam going through?
Right, right.
Interesting.
But it's more of like an entry,
Mhm.
I think,
Gotcha.
and you walk in the entry, one side goes
Right.
down into the garage, and one side goes into the house. It's almost like a breezeway. I think there's access to it out through the back. Again, I haven't been in there, so I don't
So
know
anyway.
exactly. But yes, it is likely, I
Cookies,
believe
you're
with
not
that size
eating.
addition, they would be looking at doing some living space. The house is pretty small, and I wouldn't blame them for wanting to try to maximize the living space.
Yeah, because it's part living room, part dining, and there's a door that leads to the back. Where there's a little bit of a place that they put the stove and stuff like that, to be able to cook outside. And then to the left is the kitchen, and you go up a couple of steps to the kitchen. I've been in there several times, so,
I don't know, I feel like I'd like to make a motion to just extend it,
Continue.
or
Continue.
continue the hearing, let
Mhm.
Chris get his narrative,
So in other
in
words, it's
order,
gonna
as
be,
well as,
get that correspondence back, for him to make the decision whether to remove that garage, go to the front, in realization of what is accessibility. He's gotta put the cart and the horse together.
and by doing that, that'll give Chris or
Hold on.
Jared
Hold on, so you made a motion, someone second it, and then we can have a final discussion.
Okay,
So we're in discussion now?
Well, no, someone has to
second
second it.
Okay.
Pat second.
Okay.
Now you can finish what you're saying, we can discuss the
Oh.
yes a little bit.
and then I believe, in the meantime, you should get a letter back from Larry, or we can speak with Larry and get Larry's,
We need it in, I think,
no,
right.
no, you get it in writing.
I wrote something up
Yeah.
and we sent it out.
In the meantime,
I agree.
I'm sure, I usually run into Larry about once a week. I'll probably run into him, I can, and ask him if he received a letter. And if he could, make his notes and his feelings, in writing and submit it back to the board. And then we'll take a vote on it, and when the information is finished.
We need to
That's
get
correct.
Jared in here to get, some more answers, I mean,
Or for Chris to, get the,
Yeah.
you're gonna want it.
We could use him here right now, but he would be helpful.
right,
As you know, Chris, DEP would rather see what's the big picture,
Right.
what's the long-term plans here, and
Right, and that's what I stressed to Jared when I got talking to him, it's like, we need to include anything that you wanna do here. Cause the entire property for the most part is in the buffer zone, with the exception of the system, which is the only area you can't do anything with except what's shown there. And then everything else is in the buffer zone, so we have to make sure anything that you wanna do is.
Plus, in the meantime, we'll hear back from Larry.
Yeah.
With his concerns.
Right,
I mean,
otherwise,
that's a good courtesy all around, it's for everybody,
Yeah.
for conservation
Yeah.
from us,
Yeah.
to him, Jared, everybody get on the
Jared as
same
well
page,
as the-
know what's going
yeah.
on.
As well as landowner
Good
Oak.
help.
Then we can put it to sleep.
Okay, but, here's a question. Why couldn't we, or he, just deal with the addition, since he wants to do the addition first, he needs to do the addition first? Why doesn't he deal with that separately? And we play our part in the whole process when it goes through the building commissioner?
Well,
And then, then we figure out what kind of erosion control for that. And that's, that's.
Right.
so, as you found with your project, it's easier to start this process first. It.
you get it
because the
permitted,
building Commissioner will, it kind of, then it goes through all the checks and balances and it comes to conservation and then it stalls because the work that, Chris has to do for the work, it's kind of a pain in the butt and it slows the process down.
just pre-incorporate it all into one. Get
Yeah.
it permitted, get it approved and permitted.
So then when he's ready to do the addition, he can say,
Right.
I've already done all this with
Okay,
conservation, you're all,
yeah.
here you go.
I get that, but now, what if we were to okay the system, how long is that, does he have before he has to put in a system?
It's a 3-year permit
3 years.
with the, you can also extend it
To extend it.
3 years, how many times? A couple times.
yeah, maybe. a couple
Okay, so
times.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
And it,
Well,
well,
they
then
got
I
some
think
new laws.
Massachusetts has changed some stuff.
They got some new laws in place, I'm not 100% on them, but some certain ones approved through certain times get extended again, and.
He's just gotta get his ducks lined, that's a moot point, not to say, Mike, it was a moot point. He's gotta decide whether to take that off, put that addition on. Who comes first, the septic or the addition or the septic? We
The
know-
addition work's gotta come first, and
Correct.
and
The
That's-
remediation work and the
any
remediation work.
remediation work over here
Yeah.
has to get done
Yeah.
before
For
the
the
system can get done.
Cause the accessibility goes
So-
gone. We can't
Approving
get
the
in.
system itself all alone and approving this all alone or any of that all alone doesn't make any sense,
No,
cause
throw it all,
still
bundle it.
gotta do all the other stuff before this can get done.
It
But the
presents-
state looks at it
So they have to
add it
determine-
as just one project.
Right.
The town looks at it.
And it's
added
better
as
for them to
separate.
look at it that way.
Yeah.
Prove one thing, that's all.
Right.
And that presents itself how it's gonna have to cavalcade and go.
It's almost the
forward.
sequence that has to be done. in.
I didn't
It's
know this.
dictated.
Oh, Mike?
Well,
I can tell.
since you used our example, we still don't have the building permit to replace it. We have the demolition permit, we don't have the building permit. But the septic system was dealt separately.
Yeah.
Yes, at the time, it was thought that we were gonna rehab.
Rehab the
place,
house, that's right.
okay? But we're not anymore, so in a way, that same model, so to speak, seems like to me, but I'm not gonna argue that it's better to do it, together. But if we were to, okay, the septic system, yes, 3 years, well, hopefully within the 3 years, he zeroes in on what he's gonna do with the house,
Addition.
with the addition.
Okay,
And that, by that time, the building commissioner will, what about conservation? Oh, they've already okayed the system.
Oh, no, we're
But just
okay in the
because we
site.
okay the system doesn't mean we okay
Yeah.
the addition.
Right, except we, we have jurisdiction within that, but we agree that this is a better situation than was.
I get what
I
you're
believe it
saying
should be
too, though,
permitted.
because if there's a span of time between the two things, will the erosion control be maintained? There's stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I looked at this, so if he's going to, put this in first, well, he has the, all of that erosion, yeah, I don't know, seems complicated somehow.
So, again, I'm not a construction supervisor, I don't know how all this stuff works, but I'm looking at this, if they're gonna build this addition, they're gonna tear down the existing stuff. I'm gonna tear down the existing stuff, I'm gonna access to my work over here this way, cause that's a lot easier. Then build the addition, then build the
Then
septic
put the
system.
studs.
So,
It dictates how the sequence goes.
right, and
You also have to figure in there, smashing the old tank too.
right, plus
This
you
is
gotta get in
all
there and
those-
smash that old tank,
Yeah.
right. So, you know,
Put
maybe
it all
that,
together, the system,
Right.
this plan demonstrates how the sequence is going to go. Jared should be here, he should be absorbing this, so he knows how to go through with this process.
right, well, that's all
I
gonna
mean-
be laid out.
So we've got ways to go, can we good with
We
the
made a
this?
motion in the second and. then
Okay,
we have-
we're ready.
So if I can make one more comment before you
Of
vote. One thing I wanna try to make sure is I avoid as much as I can is sending revised things into DEP. You send them revised things and the whole system goes out of whack. I end up getting phone calls. How come you submitted 2 notice of intents for this one property? Why are we issuing another? They start thinking you're issuing another number. They get very confused. They don't know what to do when you send them revised things.
I will agree with you on that, Chris.
Yeah, so I don't wanna do.
So.
Send them something, I wanna
and
send them something that is,
Then I'll add
Ducks
storing
lined up.
the area within the
Makes
35 foot
sense.
buffer as loam and seed. I don't think it's gonna cut it.
right,
If that's what you're looking for, I think.
that's what he and I discussed, and.
To get that off the
That-
table on the neighbor's property? Okay,
That has to be, you know,
just make it clear, so Jared,
So,
like I
that
said,
would-
Jared should be here, he should be here making
But
notes,
that-
getting this.
it's, you know, restoration can be part of this versus an enforcement order. It does make our lives easier,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
So you're
how-
talking restoration with wetland plants?
Something,
sort of a-
nothing
sort
crazy.
of a
minimal amount,
Yeah,
minimal
Whatever, you know
restoration.
what, there's a number
Right.
for the area disturbed and. it
X
comes out to be-
amount near the edge where that water is running,
So the
reseed
35
it,
foot buffer
stabilize it.
But the area that he disturbed was.
Goes all the way right up. to you.
Yeah.
That's to there.
So,
It's an easy fix, loam, a few plants, high bush, blah, 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 stabilize it, everybody goes home winners.
and I will say that, I'll take back the fact that you described the sequence makes it, we have to do it all at once.
Right.
So
I think
Change
project
that.
wise, I don't know about how, approval, how you guys gonna do it, but project wise, it's gotta be basically done all,
That's why it
not
should
at
be,
once, but in a
it
certain
should be
order.
approved,
but
it
I'd
should be
rather-
approved that way. The only thing, like I say, my only concern is we don't have a letter
And then.
in hand from the neighbor.
Then at the COC stage, everything has to be done.
Correct. I get that
You
part
guys
as
sign
well.
off, so.
And the neighbor has to be happy. Jared's, gotta do
but
what he's
I
gotta
think
do here.
some sort of restoration plan in the areas within the 35 foot buffer needs to be included in this.
A straightforward schedule, X amount of inches of loam, what are we gonna put to that buffered edge? Boom,
Mike,
boom, boom.
You have a vast knowledge of.
He's the
wetland plants.
plant man,
Oh, yeah.
he's on there, huh?
That's a good one.
Hey,
At any rate, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. What I remember was it was jewelweed, which likes its feet wet, and, what else?
Oh, what you observed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my toes looking over, so I didn't go on
He
top of
was
it.
in
There's some
that.
blueberry, was there some blueberries disrupted in there as
There's
well?
probably some blueberries in there.
But there's wetland indicators, plant indicators.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all facultative wetland, yeah.
Yeah.
But really, the replanting is some, to a degree, cause it's right to the top of the berm.
Yeah.
So you're not really gonna, but it's still in
What I
the
did look
wetland
for-
area.
Yeah, what I did look for, because this disturbed land here, okay, well, how much of the wetland plants were disturbed? So I looked around here just to see,
Yeah.
And there was a certain width to this, is it an intermittent stream? What is it technically? I don't know what it is, just a wetland.
Overflow,
And it looked like, yeah, but he didn't disturb a lot, because that was a hillside
Yeah.
before he cut into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes sense to restore it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be that extensive, I don't think, you know?
it'll all
Talk
vegetate
about any
naturally.
trees.
Well, that's-
Mother Nature will heal herself
As
over
you
this.
know, wetlands replication plans are different grade, they're not landscape grade. We're talking,
Small stuff.
Right, I mean, if you start putting wetland plantings up there, I don't know if they'll survive.
Cause it's more,
Yeah, but I don't think you
It's
wanna put them up in there, I think you wanna put them down the low side.
Grade wise.
so it should be so then it should be a vegetated buffer.
So we've got about 3 feet of grade between the edge of the wetland and the
Yeah.
grade up.
it's an
So,
upland area,
So
so.
it should be a vegetated buffer.
right.
I mean, but you're right, I mean, jewelweed is an annual, and it comes up every year, it
Prolific.
reseeds itself.
Very prolific.
And, I wish I could remember what the other one was, it wasn't Joe Pye weed, but,
Whatever bushing that you
Yeah.
put in there is basically gonna demonstrate separation, keep a buffer
We could have an
area.
area of delineation too, you could ask for a split rail fence, you could ask for rural rocks, but rocks people just move.
Right,
And then just do a wetlands seed mix, which you can get at site one in Worcester.
yeah.
she'll heal herself the rest of the
And
way.
what wants to be there will grow, and what doesn't wanna be there won't.
Correct.
It's amazing what she does.
But it's a strip that has to be, Pat,
I don't have anything more to add to it, I just,
But the
We just need
perspective
to
of it
be in
is
here.
the plans are basically demonstrating what. the
noted,
sequence-
Pat wants to see him in here.
Well, she's right, he's gotta be here
Yeah.
so that he
for,
can
to,
answer questions, so we
well, at
really
least
know.
understand what's coming his way too. To
Well, we'll
understand,
continue it.
Yeah, but-
yeah,
And,
that's
But
all we can do.
My final comment is this, and it's based on what you said about, you said about caving in the old septic system.
Mm-hmm,
If you cave in
Many.
the old septic system, they don't have anything until this is built.
Oh, I know.
well, it won't get
Right,
caved in
right.
until the,
So what do you-
until the system
septic-
has
Until the
actually
new
been
tank is
flushed,
there.
yeah, until it's been flushed at least once.
Right.
That's usually the rule of thumb. And from there, it's cave it, cut it, cement it. Bless it.
Right, but it-
So the way the
Well,
system
the-
construction
you
will
know
work,
what I
let
mean.
me
Plug
just
the
address
hole.
this right off the bat. So the way the construction of the system is gonna work, and Kevin, I'm sure you're aware of this. The first thing they're going to do is they're gonna come in, they're gonna put the tank and the pump chamber in, and they're gonna put in the building sewer pipe going towards the building.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna come in, they're gonna cut the plumbing that's going out the
Out.
back. And they're
Tie it
gonna
in.
pipe it over to the front, tie it into the tank. Once they do that, they can come over here and get rid of that.
And that would be
You
right
said
before the leach
they
field.
would have access to this to do.
So
this
that will
whole
be before the
restoration.
leach field,
Once
Mike.
this is gone, what's that?
That will be before they put the leach.
That'll be
field.
Oh, you
before
can
the
use
leach
that.
field.
Yeah, that will give,
Oh,
that will give them the reserve, Mike, yeah. You'll have two
Saying-
tanks in that case.
I said
Within reason.
I meant they
He's
could
right.
come this way to do that, but they don't necessarily
Yeah,
have to. They
okay.
could still come this way with that.
I get it.
But as it stands right now, they can't with the existing garage.
See, when we put a septic in, Mike, that gives us time to get the leach field in and filled, in this case,
Right.
strip
I
filled
think
and
stabilized,
operational.
1,200
Yeah.
gallons worth of.
You have 25, you
It's gonna
basically,
take a while.
you have 2,500 gallons worth because you have two tanks. You have a pump chamber as well as the septic tank itself. So
And of course,
you have plenty of reservoir to tide them over
Yeah.
while you do the
and
construction.
prior
And if
to
you got
cave,
anywhere close to full, you call it.
And,
that's what I was gonna say, they pump prior to the punch.
the inspector, the septic inspectors, Metcalf. is that-
Rick.
Yeah.
Correct, Rick
Right.
Metcalf, yeah.
And he would okay, tanks are in, the leach field is not in, you can,
When we do the tanks, we're gonna do the leach field too. We gotta do the complete system.
Yeah.
Right, but
If we're the ones
But-
doing it,
but,
but we put the tanks in first.
but here's the thing, if this has to be removed in order to do all this, and then you can't
Well,
build
it
this until this is built.
It doesn't have to be removed. You can get there this way
Yeah.
before the system is in.
Okay,
This is just an option. It's a
okay,
possibility of doing it that way. If that was even what they end up doing, he may not even do that. He may keep that garage and and do the
We have
foundation
it.
underneath it or whatever. so,
Whatever,
Um,
that's
Well,
right,
and that's one
but
thing.
that's why
he
we
wants
wanna
to
keep
figure
this
out.
access
Right.
available right there.
so we're.
So that's one thing he has to
I-
figure out with
I
you.
think we need to have them come into the next meeting.
Bingo,
Or, yeah, do you want?
No, we
do you
need some
know-
decisions made and,
It
Well,
doesn't hinge on us. So if you want-
correspondence, decisions made.
Do you want us to put a date to this or just leave it open ended?
yeah, when would be your next meeting?
September 24th.
24th, yeah.
No way, no.
I
I am leaving on vacation on Friday and I will not be back till the 22nd.
Oh, that must be nice.
So we'll put it off into the
So-
October's meeting.
20
2 or 3 days in
And then the 8th and the 22nd.
Let's go to the 8th.
8th,
October
alright,
Hey, sure.
let's close
So
it.
you're gonna have to get DEP comments too, probably.
Yeah,
Even though they probably won't comment much.
they're gonna.
It's so hit or miss.
One of them's gonna call me up and say, well, what's going on with this?
It's so hit or miss.
Oh, I have not had good luck sending them revised stuff. I will resist you every step of the way on that. As much as I'll send it because you want me to, but I would prefer not to because it just like
Put
throwing a
it
wrench in the whole
packaged
system.
together,
So
They
get
don't
it
know
all
what to do.
figured out.
we have a motion and a second. We can.
Yep,
Mike Potts says yes.
James Brown, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Angela, yes,
I asked for
Fantastic.
him to be here. He needs to be here.
yes.
Yeah.
You will
I
see
will
him,
tell him
he's
you
a
said
neighbor,
so, Kevin.
so.
He has been summoned.
I will leave this with you guys.
Thank
and
you.
so there's your copy. Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much.
Chris.
Thanks,
We'll
Chris.
see you in,
Couple weeks, month. Enjoy your vacation.
Yes,
Yeah.
good time.
Where you
I need
going?
it, traveling.
Diving for gold or something? What, anywhere good?
No, we're just going,
Third
going to
world?
Atlantic City, I've never been.
Shoot the dice. Have
Ah,
some
no,
fun.
I'm not a gambler.
Oh, yeah, that's what they all say.
Really, no. No, I don't gamble.
Really?
Yeah,
Hey,
I lose.
I always figured getting
girls
up
will be
every
out
morning
at,
and going to
10
work was a
o'clock
big
handing
enough
out those
gamble for
cards.
me.
I don't.
I couldn't believe
You
it.
know, and $50 a day, once I've used that up. I'm
done, done.
All right, see you guys, have a good night.
Have a good one.
Bye.
3.1 land survey, estimates for our grant. So we stand at just the two, Hennigan and Dills and Roy. I have my notes of what was what the totals. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. So Hannigan's prices combined. Were $21,500, but it did not include a land
Deeded.
plan,
A plan of the land?
plan of the land, sorry.
In other words, we still have to get that done so we can get it
That's
deeded
it, that's if we did Hannigan.
in, for 21,000, what was DNR?
Bills and Roy were,
Both.
well, total together were 360.
Minus,
Was $18,450
With the plan.
with the plan of land. And
it was
the-
18,000?
$18,450 with the plan of land
And,
and the registry of deeds.
wow,
It
fees.
goes to the register, they do get that. Cause Hannigan doesn't touch base on either one of those two. And they
They
were
will
higher.
provide a staking sketch, but it is not a recordable plan. Bills and Roy included a recordable plan
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
for the registry of deeds.
And less money
right, once again,
by a
it's a no
significant
brainer.
amount,
Yes,
right?
and
What
now
thousand?
our,
No, 25,
Was the price difference?
like 3,000.
3,000?
3,035,
So
yeah.
the only thing that, we have to request from, the, Natural River Wild and Scenic Stewardship Council is additional funds because we
Don't know that.
applied for 16,000 and change, I think.
Okay.
But we can vote on a plan and then,
So what does that
I mean,
leave
vote
us
on a-
If
short?
we're on one site, they can do,
25.
what?
we can
Yeah,
make
like
a motion and vote on
25.
one of them, right? You had two separate contracts, right?
Right,
So we can vote to approve one for them and see once we get the money.
Resubmit to Wild and
Right,
Scenic.
then, because they're booked out all the time anyways, we can approve for them to do one with the money we have. See if we get some more money, do the second one, table one for now,
thoughts? That's a good,
keep it moving forward.
so we can, make a motion
So
to,
we don't have anything in our coffers, WPA, town, everything is tight,
what?
everything is,
I don't even wanna ask for a nit.
Which one would be the most important for us to try to get done?
I'd say Alyssa Drive.
Alyssa Drive?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
more expensive one.
Okay.
how many acres is Alyssa?
I don't remember.
I don't know what it is. I'll make a motion to approve. I'll make a motion to approve Dillison Roy's, estimate or proposal for the land surveying services on map 32, parcel 6, lot 0, Alyssa Drive, that open space parcel in Townsend, for the amount of $9,880.
You gotta add the 100 plus the 105.
Plus the
And that gives us some loo time to figure out if we're going to reapproach,
We're gonna reapply for the additional
Additional
2,500 or whatever.
so we
it
can
is.
procure everything.
Yep.
To the full 1845,
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
but for now,
That gets
we're
one,
only
that
gonna,
gets one, so they get on schedule.
yeah, they
So
keep
that-
moving on
so we
some.
made a motion, is there a second?
Second,
That was close, that was close, I don't,
I think we have
So
it.
the actual total is 9,880 plus 110.
That got the 105.
one,
So it's 99.
99.80. Yeah, 99.85.
just under 10, alright.
99.85. Okay. So motion, we have a second shared here.
Roll call vote,
Parson, yes?
James Drawing, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Julius.
Nice.
We get that one going anyways.
Yep, get one off the table.
And then Colby will, get in contact with Natural River Wild and Scenic Council, Stewardship Council for the additional funds for the other parcel.
Okay, Kobe's not here for 3.2, huh?
Nope, but he gave me write up for it.
Here we go. Doo-doo-doo.
So sign it? No, you can't sign it. 'Cause I'm not the purchasing agent.
Mhm.
3.2, Meeting House Park Time Scale Infestation Agent, meeting with Mass Licensed Forester on 9/9, that will provide, information on possible forestry operations. Colby gave me a brief write-up, met with Craig Birch, Mass Licensed Forester at Proctor Hill Forestry and Logging for a site walk at Old Meeting House Park on 9/9 at 8 AM. We identified the infested trees and determined a rough estimate of how much blue stain was present underneath the bark of the trees via hatchet. Many trees do not have blue stain yet.
Oh, good.
Blue stain affects their marketability a lot. Some lower grade standing timber was identified. We discussed preparation of a forest cutting plan. There are wetlands involved, no NHESP areas involved. Mr. Birch calculated very roughly of 200,000 board feet to be harvested. Depending on grade of lumber, there is valuation, the valuation would be around $10,000.
200,000 BF?
Yes.
Hmm.
Birch suggested that the harvest be done this winter due to increasing levels of blue stain, which we kind of expected. He expects that the blue stain will increase greatly in the coming year and therefore affect marketability.
No, it's gotta be
It'll
done.
be, it'll be done by next
Oh,
year.
it's gotta get cut this winter, and absolutely positively,
Yeah.
I've seen that blue
Back the
stain
other
jump.
way.
And especially with a dry.
Yep.
a
Right
dry
now it's
summer,
cooling down.
It goes faster.
It's cooling down now, and that's gonna slow it down, but,
Mhm.
and, but if they don't do it this winter, that stuff will be worth nothing till somebody will be
Yeah.
stuffing it through a chipper for nothing.
But,
Right now,
blue
there's a
stain
little bit of
permeates
value in it.
The entire. all the
Yeah,
way
it
through?
goes in from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Starts
see it
inside
comes
the-
right in after you cut a tree, and if you don't keep them watered, not long. Not long, they
Inside
come
that
right in.
cambium layer, and then it just starts sucking it right in.
You lose all the quality of the lumber.
Time you saw it out, everyone's gonna have
Yeah, right.
something on it. you
I
know?
have seen online somewhere a few years ago, someone had blue stained wood, and if you have enough of it, it actually is quite attractive.
Yeah, it goes from that to rot real quick.
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah.
The most practical entry exit would be Old Meeting House Road via Greeley Road. The log landing would be off Old Meeting House Road on Concom property. This road has not been used in many years, but is still listed as town, and town road.
It is.
Next steps include hiring forester, preparing FCP, forestry cutting plan, contact service, forester, plan logistics.
Now, Craig Birch is Mass State
He's a licensed forester in Massachusetts. He's a New Hampshire
and,
contractor, I believe. He
Yeah.
lives in Hollis, if I'm not mistaken. I've known him for many years. He's a
Yeah.
stand-up guy. Very friendly with the Tullys, marks all their timber.
yeah,
For them, he was in there generally every year, doing some work for them.
so they were 200,000 board feet.
The downside of that, the red pine value was, there's not a lot of that, there's minimal value to red pine.
I was just
If it
gonna
was
say,
white pine, then
yeah, the reds are just a little harder, has a little,
it's just not as
the market is
desirable.
out. And-
And when you
and-
start to, now you're getting into blue stain,
Is he not?
because it's been killed, you got the worms in there, you've got bugs.
I'm
chewing
surprised
away
when
at
they,
it.
debarked a little bit, the blue wasn't deep into it, cause that's been dead. Geez, those were dead last year.
They were
But-
dying.
But you do have that stream that runs through there, so
What does that?
just have a moisture
Oh,
area. So we can just keep discussing it. I think, I don't know if we need a vote, but I think this is the right course, and I think,
Mhm.
get it out of there, and of course, they're gonna move forward with the replanting, not a red pine, more of a hybrid tree.
Well, I think
That's
it's,
something
They,
we
they,
discussed.
I think
they
it's-
already know what they.
well, I think
would
it's
like to
gonna,
see.
I think it's gonna come back itself in there, there's a lot of small growth stuff in there.
No, they'll poke and plant, they're gonna wanna replant that area.
well, we can decide that at a later date, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're both, I don't know, Mike, you're the plants guy.
No,
I mean, you got a lot of natural vegetation, low lying vegetation in there, as well as
Lot of
some
maple,
of the small stuff.
lot of maple in there.
And there
too.
is some white pine growing up in there too, and it's gonna be something down the road, as long as the bugs don't get into that. Thank God that hasn't been a problem for us.
No, it is the brown beetle.
They're starting to get into the,
We had one in the cornfield, that's. right at the
One thing
point.
I do see is a lot in the last few years is the small white pine seedlings coming up, they get to be about 5 feet high. Have you noticed a lot of them, they're about this big around
the
at the
top.
butt, inch and a half in diameter at the butt. They grow up about 5 feet high and they just die right out.
Is
And
it
I
the
was
boar?
told, my cousin George told me that there was something getting into them,
Pat, what are your thoughts?
but it's scattered, it's spots around in the woods.
Yeah, I've seen some of those little beetles, on some of the trees at my house.
Well, at least we should try to get some money
Hold on,
on
Pat.
that board, that
Yeah, and
lumber
that's gonna
too.
go into the old meeting, that's part.
Oh, that's where,
Yes.
okay.
So is that potential money that's would pay for the actual cutting as well, and that's,
Well, that's, if
how
it's,
does that work?
if there's still some value, which there isn't a lot, it sounds like there's roughly speaking
Going quick.
about $10,000 worth of net value, to the town.
I would have thought there'd be more of a 200,000 board feet. I can't even.
Yeah, but the problem is red pine is something
Yeah.
that, normally
Yeah.
stuff it through the chipper.
Well, if,
You know.
let's say that none of it was of value, how much would it cost to hire?
Well, now all of a sudden you start paying on the other end of the town, somebody's gonna have to write a check.
Well, that's
Well,
what,
we
that's
have
what
the
I'm
fund
wondering.
in the old meeting house.
Well,
Or,
in my opinion, whether there's funds in there or not, if there's a way that we can
Make a nickel.
generate $10,000 in revenue coming back, rather than $10,000 in monies going out, I think
Well,
that
that's the
be
idea.
prudent to
sure.
try to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that and not whistle Dixie, get the thing done. Well, there's still some timber value to it, although it's not a lot, but there's some kind of net coming our way rather than going out.
Well, my question is, if you just hired someone to do it, roughly how much would it cost? Would the 10,000 cover the cost? That would break even?
I
or
don't
that
think
would be
so.
In addition?
I don't think so, because
Alright.
chip value, because then it becomes,
Nothing.
you're still going through the whole process,
Right.
and all you got's chip value.
$500
Chip
a
value is
truckload.
$500 a trailer load,
Maybe
for a 100-yard trailer load, it's not
Yeah.
a lot of money. And it takes a lot of them white pines to fill a trailer.
Okay, but then where does the money come from? We're not,
Right now,
To
this
pay for the work that we need done.
Yeah.
So the old meeting house park, account, which was established, I don't know the exact background, but it was established and there's, over $20,000 in it that we can
Bingo.
utilize for that property. Now, that right off the bat would cover the forester easily, but, if we can offset the cost with the timber sale.
sure.
right,
You're.
Get 'em up to
if that's-
30,000.
I'm
No, that
Kind of
hoping,
gets your question.
yeah, I'm hoping that it's gonna be and,
If
what
we-
would hopefully be an even wash, or have something coming back to the town.
Right, okay.
And then
A few dollars coming back our way rather than going the other way.
No, I
and then
just had
maybe
no
we can-
idea how much it cost to cut down.
And then maybe we can vote to put it back in the general fund, or if we're feeling.
That's
generous.
where we're gonna go for 2,500 for the last of the survey money.
Well, every dollar coming this way helps.
And if we do it that way, there's a little bit of urgency behind it because they know they
This is
gotta
gonna get
cut 'em.
done.
So
This gotta
I
get
make a
done.
motion that the next steps
Nice
include
job.
hiring a forester, preparing the
Yes.
FCP contact service, forester plan and logistics. I make a motion that we,
Second.
Jeez.
Sit back for a second, Jimmy, you're jumping the gun, buddy.
I make a motion that we, request Colby to move to the next steps. So that we can continue this process, cause it is the middle of September.
And it's dying every day, it's getting
And
worse every day.
it's
Yeah.
done in the winter, so.
Yeah.
Jimmy, now
So
you
it was
make your
seconded,
second.
okay.
No, well, now you
No,
second.
ready?
now you can second it,
Now you
or I
ready?
will.
Second.
Mike Clark said yes.
James Story, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Gemma, yes.
That's less. It's a bullet foot. Wow,
At least it's something.
I didn't know it would go that long.
Well, it's dead,
Yeah,
and it's dying a little more every day, it's
Right.
staining more every day.
but that's gonna give them some urgency, cause if
Yeah.
it sits, if it was a wet summer,
Good.
might have been different.
Alright, 4.1, Squanicook Conservation Restriction Update. Mike,
Okay, so,
and actually you can wrap in
Which
yeah,
the North County Land
Yeah,
Trust
yeah.
stuff, I guess, too.
okay, so, we're, as a group, closing in on, the restrictions, what's gonna be allowed, what's not allowed. At the last meeting, Ann Gagnon from Fish and Game was there, and Anna Wilkins from North County Land Trust was there. She's the Director of Conservation and Climate, and they both had good suggestions how to refine some of the wording and everything to make it more, well, let me just say that it seems as if North County Land Trust has interest in holding the restriction. And So the refining of the wording, makes it, perhaps there'd be more agreeable, to holding the restriction. There is going to be a site walk with the board, or at least members of the board.
Do you know
And
when yet?
I don't know when, if they said September,
What's
sometime,
the lot
sometime,
again,
or
Jimmy?
October.
What?
So,
What lot again?
All of it.
The
I
soccer
think,
field,
I know,
right?
Can you please let me know when they're gonna do the site walk?
yeah, it was, your name came up as potentially someone who should be on the line. So I will,
You know, you've got the experience up there and the knowledge up there
yeah.
and the history.
So this is all for the soccer field, right?
Yeah, it's soccer fields, the well fields, the habitat, it's all part of the process
expanded.
of, well, no, the soccer fields want to expand, but as part of the process, the conservation restriction is part of it,
Right,
and that's done by the town.
and they. Okay. Keep going forward on, I'm pretty sure I'm on board with what they're doing, which way it's going.
No good.
No, I just,
I,
meaning,
I've got
if I
some,
was
I've got some
understanding.
questions and concerns that I'm not gonna talk about tonight about that, but that's.
I think they'll probably parallel what I
I'll
was
think,
looking
I'll
at.
think about it and we'll.
Think about what, the whole
So
concept.
Mike's our representative for that whole process.
Well, they're gonna hold the restriction. And that would be on all properties
No, I
eventually,
think,
correct?
no, it's based on the parcels for the soccer fields or the soccer league isn't using, correct?
Well, there was some discussion about that, whether or not everything should be grouped together or separate.
That was my concern. Are you gonna, is it gonna be separated or is it gonna be within the entirety? If it's gonna be in the entirety, it really makes me think that we should do a little more research because that's gonna hold up. Like I say, you wanna try to do an expansion of some sorts, any sorts
So
down
this
the
is-
road.
this is-
Now you're just gonna get
Oh.
permission for more things.
No, this is part of the expansion process. We have like 5 things going on right now with the state and with the town for this expansion stuff. The permitting is ridiculously expensive and expensive. One of the things is the Environmental Justice Act that has
Oh, I
caused
know.
us a little bit of heartache, and we don't, you talk to the state and they're like, yeah, what's the Environmental Justice Act? And they just go off on some other tangent, they don't explain it.
I'm not that familiar with it, but
It's something that is a federal thing.
But if you're worried that, if North County Land Trust held the, restrictions, that somehow they would hold up the third soccer field or that doesn't.
I don't know, because I'm
think
not,
it
I haven't
will be
been,
worded in such a way that won't happen.
well, that would be the best case. You know, I'm just not that, when everybody wants to hold restrictions, and
Well, it's a complicated situation.
I know.
Is it
I know.
complicating it more? Is it just,
I think it's the state entities that may be complicated.
yeah,
In my humble opinion,
it's
the
probably
state.
that.
they've
you know,
always
but
been the most
But it's
difficult. They've always been.
it's federal laws too that
Right,
get
and that's-
manipulated by the
yeah.
states.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm just not that.
But let's
familiar
let
with
Mike finish and then we can have. a
Well,
discussion.
after
Again,
that,
he
yeah.
can relay our
Yeah,
concerns.
I will. So after the sidewalk, there's then, this Anna who seems very, agreeable to the concept at the time, is gonna present it to the board.
Shack.
Anna Wilkins,
Wilkins.
Director of Conservation and Climate.
Mhm.
And, probably Emily would go to that, board meeting as well.
Emily Fine.
Yeah. There was some talk about, grants and where they could come from. The new thing that I noticed this morning when I was down there checking on the turtles was this big boulder.
The boulder. No, but the boulder.
Yeah, what's that boulder all about?
That is, the Jim Craven Memorial Boulder. We're going to either have it engraved or put a plaque on it. Because he is the gentleman that don't go in, as you knew. So that is the boulder.
Okay,
I didn't
Came
know
from
that's
his-
where it was being placed, but.
Came from his farm too, didn't
It
it, or
did.
something? Yeah,
oh, is that right?
It did, and a rock truck brought it down and.
drove it down the rock truck.
Oh, yeah, yes,
So, since the town owns the property now, does, they gave him permission to do this, or they want to do it for him? or-
both,
Yeah, okay.
and there's no formal permission. It's.
I think it's the right thing to do.
it's
You know, you got a
discussion with the
memorial,
select
yeah.
board. You know, it's not it's something that, we're not gonna have to take the rock out. It's just a rock, that's, you know, to remember the guy that
It's just a rock.
donated the
Right,
property.
right.
Oh, it's a big rock.
Oh, it's, yeah, I've seen these little.
Oh, 3/4 of the size of this table.
Anyway,
It's huge.
so we're putting an amazing amount of money in to what's going on at that soccer
No.
field.
No, the town is not putting a damn dime into it.
Well, what I'm saying is what state funding,
No.
interest,
State hasn't given us any money.
really, none.
We fundraised all of it.
You guys have done your own.
We're trying to look for corporate sponsors, people that wanna, or a company or individual that wants to sponsor this, snack shack or the fire, or the lightning
Yeah.
structure. And if someone wants their name on a soccer field, we'll put it. They wanna pay for it. But we've fundraised a lot of money for this and it's gonna cost a lot of money, but we're in it.
Well, the previous meeting, might have been 2 meetings before this.
I don't
one.
think we wanna say too much about that, I think
Okay.
you're gonna say.
Okay,
Cause I don't know the validity of it, but
okay,
at the same time, part of this whole process, for me personally, is habitat restoration. And restoring habitat that used to be there, used to be, better than it is, and Emily Fine, the permit holder, has worked hard to do this work with a bunch of volunteers, and towns help by, providing the trucking of brush and this and that, but we wanna try to help them restore more of the habitat as part of this project, and as part of the conservation restriction.
there's some
as a give back.
wildflowers there that you don't see too many other places around, so it's a very interesting
Where,
place.
are they up, away from the fields, or?
Away from the fields, yeah.
But we're gonna delineate areas so people will stay off, we put up signs, it's little baby steps, but now we're ready to.
You and I both remember the conception of that area with old man Robichaud. Then when Jimmy took it over,
Keep going, Mike, I'm sorry. to
No, that's
interrupt.
about it for now, yeah.
Pat, I know you,
Don't know anything about that, so I can't really.
well, it's an old sand pit and it's habitat for,
Yeah.
like its shelled friends and.
it's an old sand pit, just like Dunn's.
Yeah.
You understand the whole concept, but instead of the dirt bikes and everything else going in there, they put soccer fields and houses.
Well, no, we still have dirt bikes. Remember, last year I had to go down and deal with some
In the field area,
during soccer game.
there's only two places they can come from. So,
And we're still getting them too.
moving on.
Okay,
Can't do anything about these kids.
4.2, Department of Environmental Protection Water Quality Certificate application for 88 Meadow Road. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but they have accepted the, combined
Culvert
permit for the culvert replacement for,
88 Meadow.
yes. They've granted a permit, for
Can't
the
believe
late
that
Dave
still has
Schaefer.
come up,
So hopefully they can put that to bed.
really.
4.3, I thought I added this, but planning board notice, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 40H, Section 5, the Townsend Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 6:35 PM in the Selectmen's Chambers, Townsend Town Hall, and via Zoom See if the town will vote amend, section 145-26 residential districts, append text at the end of section 145-26B 14, notwithstanding any provision of this bylaw to the contrary. Parcels, assessors map 10, parcel 52 Blood Road, and assessors map 10, parcel 70 West Elm Street. Amend open space multifamily development, insert at the end of section 145-47B, the provisions of this section shall not apply to the assessors map 10, parcel 52, and assessors map 10, parcel 70, or take any action in relation thereto.
One or two.
Do we have any comments to that?
No comment.
Is that it with that? You just have to read that?
Yeah, and then sign
Document.
it.
Well,
It's
it's-
Okay.
So 6.1,
October 8th.
so items for discussion at the next meeting, 0 Adams Road, we don't have a DEP number yet. TWB 2025-006, applicant Kenneth Tully, construction of a single family house with septic system within 100-foot wetland buffer and 200-foot riverfront area.
Why does it say 0 Adams? Is that because they don't
Lot
have a
zero, lot zero, there was no lot number to that, I have to abstain from that because.
Okay. Well, you can still answer the question, but, okay.
Yeah, but that's the lot number,
And that was auctioned land?
for the piece that was bought by Ken from the town at auction.
At auction.
And then 6.3 or 6.2, we have a volunteer request form
6.2, where'd that come from?
from Sandra Lord, 89 Wallace Hill Road.
6.2?
Well, yeah, I added that in our date received was 9/5/25.
Sandra Lord to come on the board as a commissioner? Can you believe it? And she lives, what'd you say?
89 Wallace Hill Road.
Kevin, you know where everybody is.
Next meeting is September 24th, 2025.
Trying to remember what.
It is 8:18. Does anyone else have anything they want to add?
I'll make a motion to adjourn though.
Pat, thank you for the cookies.
Like,
We have a second?
Second,
Roll call.
Mike
vote.
Clark said yes.
James Dorian,
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Yes.